he had put it back on my mind again, man. I was telling him how sad I was that Coach Fritz left, man.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of double edged for you, right? Because as having success there, having as much success as you guys did there during his time there is awesome, and you want to see that continue to build as a program. But I mean, I'm sure you're excited for your guy to get another opportunity.
Yes, I'm super. It's sad to see him go, but I'm super excited for him. To see him with another opportunity in a bigger division. Around some different, around a different organization. Turning around and do the same thing he did there, even better.
So what is that like? Because there's not a lot of people who have that experience, kind of seeing a coach or a group of individuals, whether that's a draft class, a recruiting class, as an organization, come in and legitimately change things to have quantifiable success. What did you kind of learn from that experience?
I learned a lot from that experience. I just really learned, just being humble, going through that 2-10 process, and also, persevering. Also, that we actually went through a lot through that season. Ida had hit. We was displaced out of our homes for most of the season, and we just had trial after trial after trial. But one thing I can say about that 2-10 season, our record doesn't reflect who we were. You know what I'm saying? Because we came every game and fought. In every game we didn't lose it by nothing but 5 points until it got out of hand. So it taught me a lot, and it kind of giving me flashbacks. Because to the point that we're here now, it's just telling me just to stay humble and also just stay in the fight and always just put your best foot up forward, just no matter what. You know what I'm saying? We're going through tough times right now, but they don't last. But it also it brought together a strong group. And it can testify how strong we was because we went from 2-10 to 12-2. So it definitely taught me a lot, and I'm more than thankful for it.
Titans running back Tyjae Spears here with us on 104.5 The Zone. No Sunday football, Monday night football, prime time for the Titans in Miami. They'll be up against the Dolphins. You can hear it right here on 104.5 The Zone. So yeah, that's a really apt comparison, Tyjae, because a lot of times it's easy for whether it's fans, whether it's media vultures like us, to think about it not from that context, right? Where we have not seen the kind of things. I've never been through a 2-10 football season in my life to have that kind of perspective or context. But the idea of bringing a group together through the losing, nobody likes to go through those down times, but the way that it can kind of further entrench a group of individuals to build upon that and learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, that's what people don't talk about enough. Everybody want to win, or who don't want to win. But when it's time to go through those different things, who are you going to be? Who are you going to be in that given time? Are you just going to tear down and crumble up and break and break and break apart? Are you going to assemble and build something stronger for now and in the near future to come? So we kind of going through that process too, but we just got to understand. We just got to stay together and just build off the small things. Because if we had it all figured out, what I'm saying. If we had it all figured out, we wouldn't need practice. We would be perfect, and we wouldn't need a lot of things that we got to go through. So everything happens for a reason, and I'm all aboard from what is. We win the rest of the remaining of our games or whatever it might be. So I'm all aboard for it. That's just I'm gonna be here through whatever.
That attitude seems to permeate not just your rookie class, but there's a lot of guys in that locker room who give off that same energy. But for you and the rest of the rookies right now, Tyjae, whether it's injury that's forced you guys into action, whether that's opportunities that were earned right out of the gate in the case of you or Peter, or what Will has provided since coming into the lineup first in relief of Tannehill and now kind of taking over that role. It just seems like we came in here, Lucas and I, on Monday morning after the Colts game, and it was weird because you don't want to say that you were encouraged by things in a loss, but we could not move off the idea that you all fought like hell to try and win that game, took it to overtime, and gave yourselves an opportunity. And I think it kind of permeates your rookie class as a group, it seems, at least from the outside.
Yeah, and I agree with that. We fought to the end. Like you said, there's a lot of guys with that attitude around here, and it's a lot of rookies. And as rookies, we just try to talk to each other. I just try to make not just not just saying like me. I just try to make sure like we all uplifted. Once we check in probably like once a week or once every 2 weeks. We like check in like, man, you good? You sure you good? Like, how you feeling? Like different things like that. And like that's guys that you want to be around. Like those guys is gonna always fight. No matter what it look like, you want those guys around you that's gonna fight. To possibly change the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, every day ain't gonna be perfect. You're gonna have to go through more than enough to get to where you're trying to get to. But I feel like, we're gonna have a bright future. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what is that, I don't know, I can't tell you when, but I know everything is gonna get brighter.
And that's the message that you were preaching to I'm sure not just us afterwards when we met with you in the locker room, but certainly throughout the course of the week as you guys get ready for this one coming up. As you kind of go through that process, whether that's together with your rookie teammates, whether that's as an offense, whether that's the team collectively as a whole, Derrick Henry is regarded as, an otherworldly figure here for obvious reasons, not just what he does on the football field, but the level of involvement in the community. And I mean, we've talked to Will about every time you hand off to him at a certain point, you're either making some kind of NFL history or some kind of franchise history. What's it been like to kind of see that in real time, and while you guys go through this adversity, learn from the way that somebody like Derrick handles it?
It's definitely been, it's been great, learning from him and just like sharing a room with him and like hearing his thoughts on like his runs and hearing his thoughts on like some of the runs that I have, and even so like runs around the league. It's just been great, man. Because like it's just been like really cool like to see him achieve all that, because he's like so critical on himself. Like we kind of like the same person, like when it comes to like just being critical on ourselves, like thinking that we could have did more, like to to maximize the run that we may have, or also sometimes we just gotta pull each other off each other. Like, man, like you tripping, you gotta tone it down a little bit, because like what you thinking and what you maybe feeling like it wasn't there. But just it's just great, what I'm saying? He come out here every day, he come to work, he's a humble guy. He don't really like, bash his talent or bash, his accolades in people's face. I kinda overheard him on the sideline saying something. It kind of stuck with me, like, dang, what I'm saying? He's still accomplishing all these, different things, and he's still humble. So like it's great sharing a room with him and learning from him for however many years it's to come over here.
Do you almost have to have that mindset of that level of being your own biggest critic, Tyjae, as an athlete, whether that's at the college ranks, high school, professional? You guys, basically your entire lives build up to the moment where you get your shot at the pros and how you capitalize on it from there. But like I see that so much from Will, where he's walking into the press conference room with us on Sunday afternoon and saying like, I think that was my worst performance as a Titan, and we're all looking around at him like. But there's just that almost seems to an extreme, but I imagine that there almost has to be some of that when you guys are expected to not just perform, but continue to demand better of yourselves or have the coaching staff demand better of you. It seems like kind of a constant process that way.
Yeah, it's just like, either you're gonna be good, either you want to be good or you want to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like in this game, we can like just accept a lot of things and be like, okay, we can just accept to be average. But like, it's gonna be a time to where you gotta, face it and like, man, I actually could have did more. I actually played bad this game, and I gotta find like what I gotta do in order to correct my mistakes and make sure I don't have that game again. You gotta be the biggest critic of yourself, because going around like people are sugarcoated to you. Like, nah, you ain't doing that bad. But you got those people that say like, man, you got to tighten up. But you just got to be your biggest critic of yourself, because at the end of the day, that's when it's time to face a person in the mirror. That's who you face. You know what I'm saying? You want to always be real with yourself. Also like just being the biggest critic of yourself. You want to also give yourself a little leeway too. You don't want to always beat yourself up. Like, okay, I made these mistakes, but guess what? I'm gonna correct them. I'm gonna correct them in the week of practice, and I'm gonna have a way better game Sunday or Monday or Thursday, whenever we play again. So like, you just gotta. It's a fine line between being your biggest critic and also like giving yourself a little leeway, and also patting yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying? Because like we in the league, man. The guys that we're going against, they getting paid too. So they might make a few plays on us, but as long as we make more plays than them, I guess we'll be all right at the end of the day.
Tyjae Spears, Titans running back, hanging out with us before he heads out to practice here on 104.5 The Zone.
So, Tyjae, you come in for Derek on Sunday. You have a career day rushing the football. But I'm curious, as you look at the 12 games you've played in this year, if there is a specific play or game that sticks out to you the most from what you've accomplished so far in your rookie year that you think could be the most memorable. I've got one in mind. I'm curious if you do.
Just like I don't know what you're gonna say, but I think like I was just in the zone when we played the Chargers. I was like so much in the zone, like I was so present, and I was present. I was the same way this Sunday, but like one I can think of, like just the Chargers just so present. Just me getting up after every first down I done made, like just being like showing expression, and like just that was like my first real time like touching the ball in an NFL game. So I was like, man, I can actually play in this. I can actually play in this league and actually like be somebody.
Okay, here's the one I have in mind. It's a specific run from the Cincinnati Bengals game. This is the Titans radio call of the run. You tell me if you can remember the play, maybe walk us through it.
Tannehill under center. Toss sweep. Spears juggling it. Picks it up. Comes back to the other side. Finds room. 30. Tannehill blocking. 35, 40, 45. And he's taken down at midfield. Oh, it's like a carnival act. He was the juggler in the backfield. And Spears keeps his poise, reverses his field, and is able to get it forward for 22.
They practiced that, Mike. I saw that in practice.
That's a play?
Take it, dribble it a few times, then reverse court.
Nice.
Can you confirm Coach Mack's report there? Is that a practice play, or was that just a bit of athletic miracle work by you?
Nah, we practiced that. Nah, I'm just playing. I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm glad I picked it up. And I could have made something shake, but I couldn't have did that without Tanny lead blocking. So I appreciate you, Tanny.
So when you go back over that play in film, what does Vrabel say to you?
He didn't say nothing. He's like, we got our little guy dropping the ball and picking it up. Like we ain't going like. He was just like using it as a point, like even though things might happen like out of our control, like it's all about. I think could have easily dove on the ball, just let the ball go because guys closing the distance, and it could have been their ball, but I just kept on fighting. You know what I'm saying? Just to try to make some mistake, trying to make a bad play a good play, but not trying to make a bad play a worse play.
That's exactly the attitude that I'm sure the coaching staff loves. Tyjae, it's been so much fun to watch you throughout the course of the season so far. Looking forward to how the next 5 go, and appreciate you coming back on the radio show. This was fun. Hope we didn't bog you down too much.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good day.
That's Tyjae Spears hanging out with us before he heads to practice on 104.5 The Zone.